Welcome into the Fantasy Sanctuary. I am your humble host, Tyler, aka the Emo Cowboy, here back on the Fantasy Sanctuary to draft Best Ball Mania over on Underdog Fantasy. And today we have a very special guest joining us. Thought I was flying solo, but then very good friend of the channel, Bindles, offered to come on. And so we are going to draft some Best Ball Mania with Bindles here during the home stretch as we talk all things news, notes, injuries, cuts, trades, everything relevant that drafters need to know here as we have the final week and a half before week one kicks off. Bindles, welcome to the channel. Good to see you again. How you doing, bud?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Luckily not too crazy at work today, so glad to hop on here with you and talk some ball, crazy news going on in the last couple of weeks. So really fun time to draft. And we pulled a 101. Oh no, I thought we pulled
No, we're not filled yet. We'll see though. Waiting for 6 over on Underdog and Best Ball Mania. $2 million to first, $100,000 to the first place regular season winner, top scorer in the contest. We're not really concerned too much about that, but it is nice to have a little bit of extra gravy on top. You mentioned a good time to draft. Yeah, I mean, like, this is the time, right? This is the information that we
100%.
want. Draft is filled. We're in the third spot. You know, just right off the top, I'm curious, who is like, if you're entering drafts, you're entering your various leagues and things, you know, we're trying to capture these like league winners. We're trying to go after these guys that have just absolute league winning upside in all formats. And, you know, you do a lot of redraft and dynasty and best ball, you Ballsy, your show with Candyman, and, you know, you just had Gretch on not too long ago. I'm curious who are a few folks that you are going into draft rooms that you absolutely need to leave your draft with. Otherwise you feel like you don't have the upside you need to win it all.
Yeah, it's going to sound very slappy of me, but it two of the guys I would say are Luther Burden. I think the cost is low enough for the profile, and I'm not 100% sold on the Bears, but I do think I want to be betting on the new guys they handpicked there. And I just think the scheme plus kind of the talent of Burden there, especially at the cost he's going, is just pretty crazy. And then Bashal Tootin. I think we've gotten some rumors that maybe they're going to move one of Bigsby or ETN. But I think we're irregardless. Let's see. I'm good with Lamb or Gibbs. Those would be my.
You're the guest on this fine channel. I like either guy.
Let's go Gibbs.
Love it.
Yeah, we can't see it right now, but I got the Lions helmet in the back. I kind of think Gibbs is just might be the 101 next year. But yeah, I'll go back to my Tootin point. But yeah, I just think Liam Cohen, it's kind of the same thing as the Burden bet. It's just like, I really like the profile coming out, and then you pair him with a coach that knows how to use him. I think that is really just like the perfect combo. And then obviously for these big best ball tournaments, Best Ball Mania, etc., like you want the back half post-buy rookie bump type stuff that can really win you a league. And you're talking about league winners. I think those are two guys. And then I'll throw in Colston Loveland as well. He's moved up a little bit, but still not a crazy cost. And same kind of story there with the Bears offense and them utilizing him to his skill set. So those would be three of my top guys. I think Golden is super interesting where he's going. I'm still I think Reed, obviously it's not great that he is having the foot injury, but it doesn't seem like it's super, super serious. I think it's a little bit of like just bubble wrap him until the season starts. So still taking Golden, still think he's a very good click as he moves up, just with that, opportunity. And I wasn't a huge fan of his profile, but I think you can squint and see it. Some very smart people have been into him, and still into Reed. I think Green Bay offense as a whole, I'm very, very into this year. And hopefully we don't get the injuries we did last year, but
Yeah, I think those are all a lot of good points. At the end of the day, rookies have just so much upside year over year. Those are some of the biggest league winners and biggest hits that we can have across all formats. You know, you mentioned Loveland and Burden, both guys that I think people are a little bit spooked on. You know, Burden missed some time in camp. He's made a few mistakes. He famously only gets one snap with the starters. This past week in preseason, you know, Olamin Zacchaeus crushing camp. It's like we've seen this song and dance before, right? Like you're blocked by a veteran until you're not. You know, famously BTJ was in a crowded, you know, wide receiver room with Christian Kirk and Gabe Davis, and was he going to get enough targets to matter last year? Injuries happen, chaos and attrition happens every year.
Yep.
Chat, I see you. We'll get to you in just a second for some breaking news. But I think slow starts are not an impediment in our contest where, you know, in most formats, you're getting paid out week 17 in the finals. We care about what those guys score in the final game first and foremost. And rookies that might start slow might also have the most upside late. So we're here at pick 22. AJ Brown falls to us. Are you slamming him here, or is there a guy you like more?
Yeah, I'm good with AJ Brown. Easy game. Take the grown ass man. Good for me.
Perfect. So yeah, like you know, if 10th overall pick Colston Loveland is rotating with Cole Kmet by, you know, after the bye week to close the season, and then, you know, he was always just not going to be that good of a player. But if he is that good of a player and what his prospect profile looks like, what the coaches and the GMs thought about him taking him 10th overall, Cole Kmet, a guy that was kind of phased out last year, then he should be a very strong pick in the back half of the season, but especially to close out the season, especially against a San Francisco defense that's very injured. The whole team seems to be injured outside of CMC. We're on the clock. T. Higgins, Trey McBride, the elite quarterbacks. Anyone else you want to cape up here for as we pick 27?
Yeah, no real running backs I love here. I'm good going Higgins. I'm still pretty in on Higgins. I think it's weird because it's like I think it's not a too dissimilar bet from George Pickens, but I still like access good offenses. Shout out to Mathology, our homie. You know, his approach is just like draft the guys on the good offenses. It'll pay off.
So I just want to, and we'll come back to T. Higgins because I think we are at a point I think it's a great time to draft because we have a lot of people that are bored with drafting. And I think some drafters are attacking this especially Best Ball Mania. It's been open since, you know, the 2 days after the draft. People are starting to get bored. You know, T. Higgins was a staple the second round. He's now been a staple the 2-3 turn. Now he's falling a little bit in the third as people are trying to get unique combos, and that gives us followers that we can get unique combos with. But real quick, breaking news per Rappaport and Scheffler, Amari Cooper signs with the Raiders on a 1-year deal. And then we're getting thoughts on this, and Chris Mazzone saying, you know, Slappy's being bailed out. We see like late camp signings happen all the time. I don't know how impactful this is. I think this is only worth talking about because he's a big name, and because just an hour and a half ago we got news that Jacoby Myers has officially requested to trade from the team because the two sides have not been able to come in agreement on getting paid. That said, the last 2 times we've seen Amari Cooper, he's been banged up and not good. The Browns famously dealt him away for not much. The Cowboys dealt him to the Browns for not much. He was good, then he wasn't good, and then he was just absolutely a nothing burger in Buffalo. He now finds himself on the Raiders, where Dante Thornton is having a really strong camp, is a really interesting prospect profile. Rookie Jacoby and Geno have been really good chemistry. You've got Brock Bowers going to year 2, who's been looking great all camp as well.
Yeah.
You've got Jack Besh, inside outside second round pick. I don't know that Amari Cooper is anything but depth and just them deciding to have a veteran, but maybe it gives some smoke that, you know, I haven't been thinking that they're going to be likely to trade Jacoby, but maybe signing Amari Cooper is a sign that they want
a little bit of signal. Yeah, for sure.
To, you know, maybe, but we're back on the clock. Wow. We get Adams to come all the way back to us at 46. I'm very into this, but I also know the Slappies love Ted McMillan.
Yeah, I like either of those two. I'm good with Adams if you want to go Adams. Yeah,
I would love to go Adams. I'm heavy on him. All the comments we're getting from Matt Stafford, who's been back at practice after the really worrisome FUD. Stafford back practicing, doing a very good job physically by all accounts. McVay saying, I don't know the future, but it's looking like he's all wheels up if we have no setbacks for the Texans. That raises the floor and ceiling for this entire offense. And, we know that real-time value and closing line value are two very powerful components to a portfolio. I was hoping we could maybe get greedy and get a Ted McMillan fall along with Adams. But
yeah, that would have been amazing.
That would have been nice. That said, when you look at the ceilings that AJ Brown, T. Higgins, and Adams do have in their pockets, and like it's undeniable how exciting those ceilings can all be. But we get the consolation prize. We can do a little Detroit double stack here.
Yeah, is Hurts available, or did he go?
I think Hurts went right before.
Oh, he went. Okay, what about Harvey? Is Harvey there?
Harvey's there. Do you want James?
I'd rather do Harvey personally, but
okay, we'll go Harvey.
I know his ADP is a little bit farther back, but I think
it's your guy's season. Yeah,
I was gonna say, and I feel like I've heard a lot of people talking about this, but like we've seen Travion. He went in the second round here, which is insane, but we've seen the move up for Henderson, and Harvey hasn't really seen as much. I think we just had Gretsch on. I know last year he was a huge Javonte guy, not really based on the talent, but just based on the opportunity that they're going to throw so much to the running backs. Like I think it was, I saw a stat today. I think it was Ryan Heath that like they were, I don't know if it was top 3 in running back points on the team, but I think there's going to be Harvey's super talented. I think Dobbins is fine, but I just don't think like he's going to be stopping Harvey from getting his. And I think there's enough to go around in that backfield. So I think it's kind of still mispriced for Harvey there. Just, exciting rookie in a good offense that's going to throw a lot to the running back. I think I love that, especially getting those 3 receivers there in the 2nd through 4th round. That feels really good, getting Gibbs and Harvey to start off our running back room. So
yeah, I've been trying to get as much Harvey as I can, just based on speaking of recent FUD, his preseason usage is pretty strong. That said, one of the teams that we know not to get too wrapped up in preseason usage is Sean Payton's offenses. They tend to do some wonky stuff, give the young guys room to run. No pun intended there. And then, figure it out. Famously, Tim Patrick was getting a lot of run in the preseason before getting cut last year. So what I'm more interested in is that Harvey's draft capital was very good. His prospect profile is pretty interesting. He's an older back, but he is pretty explosive, missed tackles. He's an able pass catcher. As you noted, a lot of targets available in this Denver backfield. They're top 5 year over year and running back targets. JK Dobbins is going to get some touches and get his targets, but Harvey's going to have a week 1 role, which is pretty, is going to be pretty good. Could be pretty strong. Goal line, pass catching, etc. An offense that could be very good. The pass defenses they're going to face are pretty strong. They could lean on the run game even more. These are all things that, the pass catching round 2 running backs tend to be guys you hammer. That said, we're on the clock. Do you want to take Joe Burrow here to stack with T. Higgins? Or do you want to take a guy like Tony Pollard?
Yeah, I like Pollard.
Okay, so we're gonna grab Pollard and build pretty balanced here. Passing up on the Joe Burrow, come around. I think that's defensible simply because I think Pollard's becoming stronger and stronger with Spears projected to miss potentially the first 3 to 4 weeks minimum with a high ankle sprain. We know those typically hamper players for about the first 4 to 6 weeks afterwards, potentially. Efficiency wise, I'm not really touching Rashee Rice right now, who does quote unquote fall to pick 71, but his suspension length and timing is up in the air. And in a contest that pays out in the finals, I was willing to take him if he was going to miss the first few weeks, seemingly looking healthy and really strong. But that might not be the case if the appeals system is delayed. We know the NFL wants double digits. We have Judy, the aforementioned Jacoby Myers, Juwan Jennings, Jordan Addison. I assume we're taking a wide receiver here.
Yeah, I like Judy or Addison. Let's go Addison. If you're okay with that. I just think
I'm so not into the Judy thing.
Okay. Perfect.
You mentioned Gretsch. Gretsch is into Judy, but I strongly worry about the late season quarterback carousel. I don't think we get 17 games of Flacco.
No, definitely not.
If we did, that's a different discussion. Week 17 versus Pittsburgh. I'd rather chase a really good offense, a young ascending player in Jordan Addison. JJ McCarthy's looked pretty sharp in camp and in preseason. They reportedly have really good chemistry, and we have, correlation. If there's a game I want more pieces of, it's Detroit, Minnesota, not Cleveland, Pittsburgh. And it opens up another quarterback in JJ McCarthy, who we are going to want to probably target since we don't get either of Hurts or Burrow on this team for our stacking.
Yeah, no, it's listening to Gretsch and what up, Candyman? Listening to Gretsch, and I've been listening to just Sean Siegel as well. Like they're both so high on Addison. Like the way they talk about him, it's like he's clearly mispriced by like a round or two. Which I don't think. Like, I think talent-wise, I like Addison more than JMO in a vacuum. Obviously, there's the suspension, and the passing volume will likely be lower, and you don't have Justin Jefferson there. But I think Addison's a great click. I don't really rate the 3 games in the beginning of the season. Like, I don't really care. We're talking about week 17. And, yeah, man, this is a great start. I love this little bit of a balanced build here, and I think that's, kind of the way things are swinging right now, and I like to build that way.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I'm least concerned about the first few weeks of the season, and in a team where we got so much early wide receiver firepower with AJ Brown, with Devonta Adams, with T Higgins. I feel very confident that we will have 3 solid wide receivers putting up pretty good median and ceiling projections. And by taking a third running back early, we're hammering the flex with a pass catching running back with a really strong floor ceiling early. I think all 3 of those guys could be really good early, mid, and late with some nice playoff and week 17 matchups. So yeah, I want to invest in a strong offense. I think Addison's contingency upside is a little under-discussed because while I expect Jefferson to be healthy off his hamstring, we do know that those can be a little tricky with slightly higher re-injury risks. And we know this offense will likely consolidate down. Early it's going to be Hawkinson and Jefferson and Jones getting a lot of the pass work. But if either one of those guys misses, when Addison is back, he could easily consolidate more. I also just want to note that we've got get your guy season in full swing. No quarterback is really falling besides Burrow, who did fall in this. Jacoby and Juwan falling to us. I'm tempted to take Juwan because it seems like it's more contractual than not. But if you are willing to take the Jaden Reed or any of these guys dips, either, I'm not going to say no to that.
Yeah, let's go Juwan. I'm still pretty in on Juwan.
I think the IR FUD is I'm not buying the IR FUD nearly as much. And I think if they were going to IR him, I think it would have happened today rather than tomorrow. They did San Francisco sent 1 player to IR today. They only have so many IR spots. It seems like a last-ditch effort to call Jennings on, call his bluff for that he's missing time because of his calf and not his contract.
Sure.
But if the Bengals can finally make it work with Trey Hendrickson just now in a big extension, I'm seemingly that either Jennings will get dealt or he will get the extension. It seems like his injury is not as severe. Mixon goes to IR as expected with his injury. So I think I'm personally bumping up Chubb a lot more than any of the other guys. I'm a little worried about Woody Marks simply because he hasn't overtaken Dare Ogunbowale for third down work in the preseason yet. He's still behind Dameon Pierce, who suits this rush offense pretty well. Jacoby's still available to us, and I don't care what team he's on. This seems like a good price.
He's a good pick. Yeah, no, I agree. Let's buy the dip. Let's
okay. We're just scooping all the dip here, folks. Not afraid, buying in.
We can be done almost, right? We have 6 receivers, or no, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, right?
Yeah,
so we
can 6 receivers, and the other reason is I'm not too, like we just talked about, we're not too worried about Addison's early season. Same thing with Juwan. I think a lot of JJ Zacharyason's talked a lot about this of year 5 breakouts that fit Juwan's mold. There's not a ton, but the ones that do match. Really strong hit rate. So just from a statistical analytical profile, I've been on Juwan. Ayuk doesn't look like he's going to be back till like week 6, 7, 8 at the earliest. With him being pumped and needing to ramp up, they have the easiest schedule in the NFL, as we've talked a lot about on this channel.
Yeah.
And, Rizzy P is looking solid, but he and George Kittle have not been the archetypes of health, and neither has CMC. So it's like, I just want pieces of this offense. And then Jacoby Myers wasn't a guy I was super hammering. He was kind of a projected boring player, but I mean, I can't think of many places he goes that he goes lower than this, if even this low, if he is traded. Teams like Pittsburgh, maybe I don't take him this high if he ends up with Justin Fields, but it's like,
yeah,
that's like the only place where I'd be like, yeah, that's pretty bad for his floor and his ceiling. Outside of that, I think plenty of places he could end up. I still don't know that Amari Cooper means he's gone. Amari Cooper seems like a depth signing where just the young guys behind Tucker and Thornton maybe not as interesting. Maybe that's bag defending on my part, but I just don't see a team that's trying to compete. They spent the 6th overall pick on a running back. I don't think that team trades away Jacoby Myers because Besh has had a quiet season because they signed Amari Cooper, who any team has been able to sign for checks notes 7 months and has chosen not to do so.
Yeah, no, I think definitely want to buy the dip there. I think he's been good. Like, he's underrated every year. So yeah, I don't really care where he is. And then it frees up. If we want to be done at wide receiver, we could be conceivably.
So I'm hoping we get Fields to fall to us, because that would help us combat the QB room here. He does come back. We good with Fields?
Yeah, 100%.
Fantastic. And then hopefully, I'm thinking probably McCarthy to stack with Addison if he comes back to us. And if not, we'll have to talk about how we want to combat this turn. I'm interested in get to your take on Njoku and Harold Fannin as a Debbie guy, as a slappy guy. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I almost think Fannin is kind of like the slot receiver. So it maybe lowers Njoku's ceiling just a tiny bit, just some of the short area targets kind of working in a similar area of the field. But I think they can. I think they're both fine. I think they're both fine clicks where they're going. I mean, Njoku's still pretty damn cheap for what he has been. So even if he takes a little bit of a dip, and then I think Fannin, if you tack him on as your tight end, probably 3, not 2. But I think he's exciting. He's definitely exciting. So you want to go McCarthy?
I'll ask just because Bashal Tutin, you said, was your league winner. Do you want to push quarterback with Cam Ward and Geno available, or do you want to get McCarthy here?
Let's grab McCarthy. I'm a little bit worried about this room.
Me too. I think they've let a lot of receivers fall. That said, I'm a lot less interested in the Mooney Kirk fallers than I was in the Jacoby Jennings fallers, because I think these guys have been available, give or take, in this range of the draft for the last month or so, if not longer. I don't know what to do with Mooney, because like the last quote we got was that like he's doing well, I'm excited about him, but the quote before that was he's week to week, we'll see. So yeah, it's really hard to know if Raheem Morris is just being really fucking cheeky. But like it seems like he's progressing well. That said, I don't think he offers the same type of floor and ceiling, especially as I think an under talked about thing that's been happening was we were all getting really excited as a community for the Atlanta Falcons. Now they might be going into the season without their starting guard and one of their starting tackles for 4+ weeks minimum. And then, the wide receiver 2 hasn't been practicing for the last month plus with the starting team. So could be a team that gets off to a slower, bumpier start than they planned, even with the schedule. I think London still projects for a shitload of targets early and late, but I wonder if this offense kind of disappoints more than we expect in kind of a Texans-esque way, just because of the O-line not being as healthy as we think.
That's a good comparison. That's a very good comparison. I feel like we were kind of anointing the Falcons as like they're going to make the jump into being a really, really good offense. And it's like, we haven't really seen that. I mean, obviously it was Kirk Cousins and we saw some flashes from Penix, but
4 games of Penix, he's the guy, man. I don't know what we're going to see.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't think I think Penix is good, but I don't want to just say like, oh my God, they're going to be a really good offense right away. Like, and yeah, if you're adding in the fact that Penix does not do well under pressure, and if they're missing some O linemen, that's not a good recipe. I still think Drake London is kind of he's so good. He's going to get enough targets that he'll be fine. But other than him and Bijan, like I don't know if I really want to be touching Pitts or Mooney. So
yeah, hard to disagree there. Who are you liking in this range? We could grab our first tight end, or we could get one of these exciting year 2 or year 1 rookie running backs. What are you leaning towards the most here?
Yeah, let's see. What do we think we need the most? I'm pretty good with Sampson. Yeah, that was going to be my.
I was gonna say I think Sampson offers a unique amount of upside, and he's splitting already with the starters. Judkins, as of today, as of now, Monday, August 25th, 5 Central, for anyone that wants to come bookmark this. As of now, Judkins is unsigned, has not practiced with the team in any capacity in 3+ months, may still face NFL suspension, may still be arguing over the contract guarantees as the lone unsigned second-round pick from the draft after everybody else got guaranteed money that the team is unlikely to give if any suspension comes down from the NFL. All that to say, I think Sampson offers a ton of upside as a pretty decent prospect himself. Rookie, not the most exciting backfield in the world, but with Flacco early, more floor than not. Do we want to grab the falling Trey Benson or Jane Blue, or do we want to get our first tight end that pairs as a Philly stack?
I think we go Goddard. I think that makes the most sense.
Agreed. Really solid target who's somehow gotten cheaper. We just keep getting bored with Goddard. I thought he was a good click in the 115s in the big board. I thought he's been a good click between 120 and 130 when I need a tight end or I need a stack. And 100%. Now he's getting cheaper because we're bored and we're just pushing up other players. My God, can we talk? I just have to talk about Coalition 288 here. Barkley, Henderson, May, Hunter. So he's getting his exciting New England. Diggs and Douglas, got to complete that stack. The sidekick user, question mark. I kid. Tucker Kraft. All right, get your guy. Tucker Kraft in the 7th round. Downs, Shaheed, Hollywood. All right, he's got his guys. He's filling it out. Nick Chubb, 125. He saw the Mixon news. Got to get him. Rashad White's available at 140. What are we doing?
Scotty Miller.
All of that I can accept, but Scotty Miller at pick 149, brother. What do you know that I do not? That's what I want to ask. What does Coalition 288 know that I don't know? Scotty Miller is incredible. What
if Scotty Miller is the guy you need?
He sees Jacoby trending. He sees Amari Cooper get signed, and he says, "You know what? Calvin Austin, slot receiver. Roman Wilson doesn't exist. Scotty Miller, though, has a connection." Chat, does Scotty Miller believe in the 9/11 conspiracy? Is that what I don't know? If he and Rodgers are going to be,
I think Scotty Miller must have done some ayahuasca this offseason.
What's up, BP? What's up, the what? Want to say what up to the chat real quick. Joe, No Cap Mac said he got his wife into best ball recently. Next step is to get her to slurp the Tipperino. Brother, good luck. That's what we're all striving for this hot best ball summer. As we said earlier, what's up, Paulino? My bad. Candyman, Robert Griffin III, Arturo, copy paste, Mr. Mufasa, RM covers, Chris from earlier. Watch preseason, bro. That was a BBG ass pick. Did you see that preseason catch? United.
Who's BBG? Who's that? I've never heard of him.
What has he won? Outside of Neil's finishing team, what has he won?
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm cool with Henry as a bring back to Fields here as our tight end 2.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm into Henry for sure. That was like just the quintessential BBG moment. Like that's gonna be really hung up in the rafters.
If you don't know what we're referencing, by the way, Eiffel Tower last night with my co-host, best ball guy, PPR Tyler. We were giving our flowers to the Fantasy Sanctuary, which I'll do here in a moment afterwards. We had Matthew Berry on. Did not know who Matthew Berry was. If you haven't seen that clip, We tweeted it out. It's on the YouTube channel TYFFEL Typhoon Tower. Go watch that clip. It's incredible. He does not know who Matthew Berry is. He does not know who Tom Landry is, and he says some really out of pocket shit that is so perfectly encapsulating BBG, as Bindles is saying.
Yeah, it's. I just picture. Well, let's pick first, and then I'll give my.
What do you want to do here? Is a good question.
I don't mind Shipley. Are there any other running backs here that are interesting at all?
Guys I'm interested in taking, but I think maybe available to us just based on.
Do you want to take Ertz first and just be done at tight end, and then
I think so. We're getting dips on tight end. We can be done at that position. We can talk about what we want to do with quarterback. Do we want to go 2? Do we want to add a third? I think with Gibbs, Harvey, Pollard, Sampson, we have a viable 5, a viable 6. As you mentioned with receiver, I don't know that we need a 7th. So yeah, I think the clear pick is just let's take tight ends. Undervalued tight ends on good or undervalued offenses with varying levels of correlation, and we'll figure it out later on.
Yeah, those tight Goddard and Ertz, like I just feel like are so boring, but they're good clicks.
I just need them to score touchdowns and catch passes. And last time I checked, they
good offenses. Yeah, that's all you're hoping for from later round tight ends. But yeah, I just pictured BBG, wakes up, goes, he's shredding some waves. He's just living in the moment, just pure surf bro. He's only worried about his echo chamber, his living his life to the fullest there in California. What Matthew Berry? Who's that? I have no idea. Like it just made me laugh so hard because it's just pure, authentically BBG, and that's why.
It wasn't an act. Yeah,
it wasn't an act.
So truly himself. Woody Marks goes off the board at 178. I do just want to Coalition to a 8-8. I see you. Follows up Scotty Miller in the 13th. Famously, ADP doesn't matter after around that pick. So respect. Follows it up with Tutu Atwell and Justin Watson. So I respect this because I see what he's doing. He's trying to get the most undrafted guys on one roster. And we kind of saw that work with the regular season winner from 3 years ago, where the regular season winner, which we're not as concerned with, but at that time it was like $500,000. I think it's $100K this year. Made sure that his last 3 running backs were all round 18 undrafted guys or rarely drafted guys to give him, a little bit of uniqueness, but also just take shots at maybe undervalued guys, and instead of taking the guys that are drafted all the time. So Coalition is playing the game theory as optimally as it goes, and we're just living in his world.
He knows something we don't. BBG is a plant.
Oh, BBG can't be a real person. Yeah. I mean, truly makes me question my reality on a regular basis. We're on the clock. These are the running backs I've starred for us, and then it looks like.
Do we have any correlation here that would push us one way or the other? I don't think so.
Let's go. I think let's go Harvey. Oh, I'm sorry, Miller.
Kendre. Yeah.
He's not been drafted as much. I think he belongs in this tier, if not above it, as the clear-cut RB2. Cam Akers waived. He was the only guy that was getting pass work alongside Kendre. I think that's pretty good signal. Kendre was starting to get some of that pass work in preseason. Kellen Moore has raved about him. DJ Giddens has been drafted 95% of the time. So I think he's a fine click. I wouldn't mind adding him, but I don't mind adding a guy who's been drafted far, far less, who we have a lot of good information on. Giddens is still on the board. We also have Rodgers, Stafford with Adams. Do we want to just grab our quarterback 3 with Stafford and Adams?
Yeah, let's go Stafford. I think this late we have 2 other quarterbacks. We don't care about the cost at that point. And maybe we get a little staffy Devontae Adams week 17 boom week, and that wins us all the money.
There you go. Yeah, famously, they do play a dog shit defense in the Atlanta Falcons. I think Atlanta, LA, and then Detroit, Minnesota could be 2 of the highest scoring games on the slate easily. alongside with Buffalo and Philly. So we're trying our damnedest to have as many pieces attached to that as possible. With this last pick, we are looking at, I think we're currently at a 3-5-6-3. Do we just want to see what's available, or do we want to go ahead and just decide, do we want a 6th running back or a 7th receiver?
Yeah, let's think about it. I don't, it does depend on who is there, but I would assume running back. Just I don't know what
let's take a moment and talk about it.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't think we really want to take Bash. Maybe he gets boosted up a little bit, but we don't know what's happening there. Don't mind Noel. I don't really. I mean, we could get someone just to help cover off some of the early season stuff if we're worried about that. But let's see.
I mean, early season, I think we've covered our ass with
the first
Brown, Higgins, Adams, Myers, and then running backs for the flex. Harvey, I'm excited about. If he started a little bit slow, same thing with Sampson, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
Miller is obviously just contingent. So if any of these 3 guys are available right now, okay, so Giddens goes. Right now, apparently, Roshan and Kyle just are not healthy. I read today that DJ Moore was taking RB snaps out of the backfield because they literally don't have anybody healthy besides DeAndre Swift at running back. So not the most fun picks, obviously. Kareem Hunt still mixing in, but Smith mixing in makes him more interesting. So maybe we just swing for the fences with a 7th-round pick who's actually healthy and catching passes. We mentioned the Houston backfield for the first 4 weeks. We don't take Chubb, who goes in 125. Dameon Pierce not drafted as much. Woody Marks. Maybe we take the Houston shot with.
And any love for Corum with as kind of looking like
he correlates.
RB2?
Yeah, he might be my least favorite of these guys, but
okay.
He's the most clear RB2 right now. He was rested. Hunter was not. Contingent upside bet. Any of those guys. I think running back here, we go for a 3-6-6-3 build.
I think so.
Keep it balanced. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm good with Smith if we want to do that. Unless you have a lean here and you want to go one of the Chicago guys, but I'm fine.
No, both Chicago guys. They're still on the. Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know that they're getting any ground late season. We do have a Jennings thing. I just have no indication who it is. So it's either Corum or Smith.
Let's go Smith. He's top of the queue. That's fine.
Smith seems fun. Targets are good. They've talked about wanting a pass catching running back, but maybe we've gotten enough signal from the team that says, 2 weeks ago, looked like Smith was dead, and I don't think we should be taking this late round pick anymore. And then they say they want an RB2 that's a pass catcher. That seems bad. And now, it seems like Eli Mitchell's on the roster bubble. He's catching 2 targets, 1 super deep from Mahomes in the preseason where they were playing fast and loose. Maybe they have found their new pass catcher. Seems fun. So we finish up with Fields, McCarthy, Stafford at quarterback, all either at or behind ADP, a little bit of value. Jahmyr Gibbs at 3 as our first round anchor, RJ Harvey, Tony Pollard, Dylan Sampson, Kendre Miller, and Brashard Smith. A bunch of guys I have not gotten on one single team yet, so that's fun. Also taking 2 shots at guys not being drafted a ton. I think Brashard was going in like the 17th or 16th for like a week or 2, but for the most part, I think he's been mostly undrafted for the last few weeks, so that's nice. From an ownership perspective, A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, Devontae Adams, Jordan Addison, Juwan Jennings, and Jacoby Myers. 3 guys we love with some value. 3 guys we go, aren't you worried? And no, I'm not, because it's in the fantasy football gods' hands now. Dallas Goedert, Hunter Henry, Zach Ertz at tight end for our first BBO of the stream. What do you think about this, Bindles?
I feel pretty good about this. Like, I was a little bit worried about the quarterbacks. I thought we were going to possibly get locked out, but get naked Fields, perfectly fine with that. I know we don't love the offense, but I still think in the running is just huge. He can just, you don't have to stack him at all. McCarthy stacked up, and we have the Detroit bring back with Gibbs, feels really good. Stafford stacked with Adams, love that. And then I love this running back room. Obviously Gibbs, don't have to talk about that, but then Harvey, Pollard, I think, is still undervalued. Their O-line is improved. Obviously, Cam Ward is an upgrade on what they had last year at quarterback. So I think Pollard could be a smash at his current ADP. Samson, super into Kendre, right? Like RB2 behind a 30-year-old running back seems like a good bet to make that late. And you bring in kind of the leverage option of that. And then Rashard Smith, I mean, it's an upside shot with KC, good with that. And then, yeah, receivers feel super strong. Like buying the dip on the 3 later guys, Addison, Jennings, and Jacoby. And then, yeah, perfectly cromulent tight end room there with Goddard, Ertz, and Henry. I feel very good about this team. Like, I think we kind of covered our bases everywhere. We have floor and ceiling, and yeah, man, I don't. This is very fun.
Yeah, I think also an underappreciated component of, we've got about a week and 3 days left of drafting. I don't know, like, we've been getting maybe a week or two max of like guys truly falling. If Juwan doesn't get placed in IR, he's not dropping more than a handful of picks past his current ADP, I would imagine. And Myers, again, outside of maybe getting dealt to the Jets, which would give us a stack, I don't know that he goes this low. So I think by taking the dip on all these guys, the chances any other team gets any of these guys in the same roster or room, just the power of real-time value is the uniqueness of it. And then we also compound that with taking we try to push running backs late in a room that's gobbling them up. I think we cover ourselves really well with our starters, and then we take 3 upside shots in rookies and in guys not getting drafted all the time. This team is fucking awesome because of the uniqueness that this could get if it advances into the playoffs. Because no other team should have any, like, maybe 3 or 4 of these guys, and outside of that, you got all that power. And that's real nice. But let's go ahead and jump over to our second one, Bindles. I assume you're good to stay. If you can't, no worries.
No, I'm good.
I figure let's get 2 drafts with Bindles. We're obviously cooking, so we go from the 3 hole to the 11 hole. I like the 11 hole just fine. What are you liking to do out of this spot, depending on what's available?
Yeah, I'm pretty good going receiver here. Looks like we got Henry going a little bit early, so we might get some good values here at the turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with that. If we can make it happen, looks like we should be able to.
I want you to go with who your favorite guy here in this range is. Neighbors goes, so Puka, Amon-Ra, BTJ, Drake London, Ashton Genty, Devon.
Let's go Puka. Yeah, I'm still super in on him. Obviously, the Stafford news, we were worried for a little bit. I think that's Stafford kind of every year, man. Like he's always hurt. So I think just whatever. We're trying to win. We're trying to win $2 million. Let's bet that he's healthy. Okay, so we got.
Do we want to double tap with the correlation week 17 and just buy into the target upside, or is there someone else you like here?
I kind of feel like let's go London. Let's go London. I was gonna get a little bit spicy and say Bowers, but
I wouldn't mind it. But I it's just for me, I'm trying to think of like, how does London not hit? And really the answer is he's banged up or he runs bad on opportunity, because if Mooney does miss any time, he's going to consult right now. Like we're hearing that he's and super grain of salt, if you even listen to it at all, preseason targets and camp targets. But like, unsurprisingly, the guy that was seeing a shitload of the target share with Penix last year in the small sample has continued to see a shitload of the target share with Mooney out, and his red zone usage with Penix was super fucking high. I'm low on Pitts. We haven't really heard much of anything from him. They keep talking up the tight ends behind him. Mooney's banged up. He can get re-injured with that shoulder, even if he does come back healthy. Ray-Ray McCloud is fine, but they did not upgrade the slot receiver position.
Yeah.
London could finally be like in line to see the most targets of his career with a very good and aggressive and efficient passer who is young and barring any injury to Penix, is going to be sustainable for the entire year and not dip, kind of like we saw with Kirk with the Achilles plant foot, but as well as the banged up throwing shoulder. If the offensive line is banged up, they might not have an efficient rushing attack as much as they'd like, more passing situations. Everything's breaking for London to potentially be just the giga smash of opportunity. A guy that is talented. He might not be elite, but very good talent with very good opportunity. Those are usually two recipes for, just a fucking league winner before you even talk about the schedule is nice and the playoff schedule is nice. So it's like this guy could just be one of the most powerful pieces of the second round. And then, you're getting to correlate that with week 17 with a guy who one of the best in the league as far as efficiency, target earning, explosiveness. I'm having a hard time. Like, I have plenty of London, but it's like the more I think about it, the more it's like, man, this is one of the easiest clicks on the board, and it's truly the way that people feel about Bowers. I feel about London from I can't poke holes in this.
Yeah, no, there really is no hole.
Yeah, there's no hole, guys. There's no hole.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad we didn't get. I was debating Puka or BTJ there. I'm super high in BTJ.
Yeah, both guys super fun.
Yeah.
What do we want to do here? I think I imagine you like either one of these guys a lot. I want to make sure you get your guys.
Let's go T-Mac. Let's slap it up.
Yeah. I don't mind. I have felt the same way I've felt about Wilson, despite him falling or not falling. He smashes when he smashes. He's going to have a lot of weeks where he sucks and he's unusable. You stack him with Fields. You pray to God it hits at the right time. It's fine. It might be one of the least fun picks on the board to make. What do you want to do at this turn? As Terry Daniels goes, now that Terry signed his extension?
Oh man. Do you want to go Adams again? Do you want to, or do you think that's too much?
I think we go Wilson or Worthy here, or we grab a running back, or grab Pickens.
Let's go Worthy.
Okay, cool. Let's get fun players. Rice having an ambiguous amount of time missed is a good thing for Worthy, and maybe, just maybe, the Chiefs talking about being more aggressive in the vertical passing attack are men of their word, and that benefits Worthy. So we're going to start with a little bit of piss with Puka, London, McMillan, and Worthy out of the 11 hole.
Yeah, we built balance before, and now it's a little bit sad because I really, really earlier on, like maybe up until about 3-4 weeks ago, being able to get Henderson, Harvey in the 5th and 6th round felt really, really good when you were building these kind of teams. Those guys are going earlier, obviously now, so not as good, but I think we can still make it work. Obviously, that's a four very fun clicks. So still like it a lot.
Yeah. If the board's going to give me, year 1, year 2, or just guys set up to smash, in best ball, this is a really nice start because I think you've got your median and ceiling projectable guys in Nakua and London. You have your primed for a great rookie season breakout guy in McMillan. The whispers about Thielen potentially getting traded have already started in his last year on the contract at 34, 33. And then you've got year 2 Worthy, who when he is hitting your lineup, it's potentially for, 28, 30 something points. I did just want to touch on a couple of chats real quick.
Sure.
Zeus telling us Estime is waived by the Broncos, and I can't not laugh a little bit at my co-host BBG, who we do love, but he accuses me of being an arrogant, cocky, angry man who thinks he's always right. And Zeus reminding us that not long ago, BBG was calling his chat stupid, according to Zeus, one side of the story, for saying that Estime was a terrible pick. Now, if that was big board, that's one thing. I feel for, I don't actually, no, I take that back. I don't feel for guys like Cody, Off the Schneid, and BBG who were buying Estime in the big board because it was very apparent that Peyton was not happy with running backs. It was going to get his guys in. If you get phased out and benched in the playoffs and late season, you're usually not getting a second chance. We saw that with Kendre Miller and Davis Allen. Until you get a new start, you're kind of shithoused. So and then they get the worst run out of all time with Harvey and with JK Dobbins. Every time a bad signal came in, they said it could still be okay for Estime. So it is what it is. And then Gavin Smith asking what we think about getting Kamara for Jordan Mason and Jacoby Myers, since he wants a trade and the Cooper news. So
you got to give me more info on.
Yeah, are you PPR? You have PPR? Is this redraft? Is this dynasty? If it's dynasty, I don't feel good about getting Kamara. If it's not PPR, I don't love getting Kamara. Give us a little bit more information, Gavin, and we can try to help you out.
We can definitely make it work.
Let's see. Looks like some folks might be drafting in the Superflex streets as we're about to be on the clock. I assume you'd be auto smashing Harvey.
Yes, easy Harvey.
Yeah, cool. I'll give us a few more seconds to talk about what you might want to do here at the 6-2.
I'm pretty good with Flowers. Pearsall. Flowers or Pearsall. I think that's, or we could go Connor. If you.
I'm open. I'll start all these guys. We'll see what he does at the turn. Wouldn't be mad about any of this.
Yeah, let me think about it. I mean,
so
I think
everything's on the table.
I'm just trying to think. I think it's Flowers. I think it's just easy. Take the good offense, good receiver. I think we don't overthink it.
Okay. 10 seconds. Yeah, I'd have a hard time pulling up either of these guys because they were going. Yeah, so we're going to go Flowers here. One of the reasons why I did not want to go Pacheco or Pollard there a little bit, I think they're both strong picks. Pacheco would correlate with Worthy. I think I would have leaned Tony. Both those guys, though, for a lot of this contest were going in the 80s, the 100s. You were getting those guys. We're just getting worse prices and worse combos, and I don't think they're the clearest of clear clicks, whereas Flowers, for the most part, has been going around here. Harvey's been going around here. So it's like I don't mind getting good players at good prices that I'm not getting worse versions of the rosters, even with the late information. So that's my lean with Flowers there, who I think is primed for a pretty big setup. Pat Carrain of Leg Up, detailed how every underlying metric is pointing to Flowers potentially being a super smash pick this year. If anything happens to Bateman or Andrews, the consolidation that can happen if Henry misses a game, or they just connect more on the opportunities they had. They did not add anybody of note. Walker, apparently, Devontae Walker, still behind Tylan Wallace. So, their best pass catchers are going to project to be Flowers, Andrews, and Bateman to start the season, with likely missing a good chunk of time, undetermined, but as little as 2, as many as 6 weeks with his lower body injury. So, okay, we're getting more information. So real quick, NoCap says Woody Marks or Keaton Mitchell in PPR Dynasty. I'll let you have the first crack at what you think here.
I'm going Keaton Mitchell. I know Woody Marks is the rookie, but I don't think Woody Marks is that good.
Better. Yeah, Keaton's looked better. The signal on Woody's been. I've heard nothing from the staff, and I've seen nothing from the staff that gives me an indication that they want to give Woody runway. I think this is going to be a committee at worst, and I think Chubb's going to see a lot more work than people think. And if you're buying running backs, I think you'd rather buy a guy that the slappy community is big on, so at least you have some, you want liquidity, you want to be able to sell if you don't want to keep. And then Mitchell has shown himself to be really explosive, and he's at least attached to a very explosive offense. And Henry may not be around forever. Gavin says redraft PPR. So in redraft PPR, Kamara for Jordan Mason. So you'd be getting Kamara, giving away Jordan Mason and Jacoby Myers.
And he says
it feels a little expensive, frankly, for PPR, because if Myers stays put, I think you're giving away a little too much, because Jordan Mason is a decent 1B. Yes, PPR upside is probably not as nice, but I don't know. This feels like an overreaction to me, but I don't know if you'd want to deal that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of lean Kamara side because I just don't really know. Okay. In PPR especially, I don't think Mason, even if he does hit, if he's that big of a hit, and then Myers he's solid, but I think Kamara still, even though he's old, can just give you what was it last year? Like
And
in
redraft
PPR,
getting
like
off to a strong start is underappreciated for sure. I don't know.
it's tough. 30-year-old running back is always tough. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Kellen Moore offense projects pretty nicely, but Kamara may see less targets than he usually does because Kellen Moore's offense is throw to the running backs a little bit less than you think because they hyper focus the slot.
Yep.
So I'd be a little bit worried about doing that. We get Laporta to fall all the way back around.
I think we go running back here.
Okay, you want to bypass the Laporta for,
or you want to go Laporta and just buy. We can do that.
Let's get the Laporta dip. Give us another quarterback out. We are on the turn, so we're not going to know how this goes out. I don't love Caleb Johnson, and I was hoping one of Jones, Mason, or any of the other running backs were available to us. So I'm very fine with Jones here.
I'm good with Jones. I mean, yeah.
Perfect.
Let's
get a little bit of
RB2.
Week 17 correlation with Jones and Laporta, another potential quarterback stack, and underappreciated pass catching profile, still running long wheel routes, still able to score touchdowns. Last time I checked, when he was in an offense with an AJ Dillon-like guy, he was still having multiple touchdown games, including 4 touchdowns. So seems good.
Yeah.
BP saying Jacoby Myers to San Francisco watch. Yeah, I mean, if San Francisco feels bad about the Jennings stuff, feels bad about the Ayuk stuff, Demarcus Robinson is suspended for the first few games of the season for substance abuse. I mean, yeah, Myers definitely seems like a San Francisco guy. So, and also I expect Chicago to get a couple of these guys with Monungai and Roshan banged up. I would not be shocked if guys like Estime or Cam Akers end up signing for depth.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, guys, Estime still sucks, and I don't think a coach that doesn't love what DeAndre does and doesn't love what Roshan does is going to love what Estime does, which is fumble.
Is being ass. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like Estime's done nothing in the league that's made me think, oh, he's got something. He's just a guy.
Yeah, absolutely. He's big. That's about it, which is kind of similar to Roshan, right? It's like, oh, theoretically, these guys are big and they can, take some goal line work, but it's like, okay, you still have to be good. You still have to be good at the goal.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Anybody joining Houston or Chicago right now, to me, is just depth for injury stuff. I'm not like, these are guys that probably get axed midway through the season, kind of like what the Browns did with Donta Foreman last year, where it's like, hey, we don't know how many healthy guys we have right now. We're going to sign some guys until like week 4 or 5 when we have a better feel for when our guys are going to be back, and then you're getting axed.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't get at him. I would not get out over my skis on any late additions to any of those backfields.
Yeah, they're getting cut for a reason. Like,
yeah, exactly. All right, we're almost back on the clock. 20-second drafts go fast. We're sitting in an 0-2-5-1 build. RJ Harvey, Aaron Jones, running back, Puka, London, McMillan, Worthy, Zay at wide receiver, and Laporta at tight end. What do we want to do here?
Yeah, let's see. Any quarterbacks? No, not really. You want to just go? You want to go Scatterbo? Yeah, let's go Scatterbo.
Yeah, let's go Cam Scatterbo. Interesting, fun click. And then we can talk about if we want to get one of McCarthy or Goff. Probably Goff with Laporta. And then we have Bryce and Penix available around the bend, unless you feel strongly about getting another running back. Well, Goff goes to the
do we want to take a quarterback here? Or do we want to just push it? We could go Fields again if you want to.
Let's get one of Fields or May that we can backstack. I'm good if you want to mix it up with some May.
Hey, let's go May.
Yeah, because we can get because I'll never be mad about. I think May offers a similar type of rushing upside with design rushes and scrambling. He was one of the top 5 scramble quarterbacks of the last 10 years. So his rushing is unheralded, and we can backstack him with one of several wide receivers, or just grab Stevenson and Henry, or just Henry. I'm not too worried about it. I think their offense is going to be better than, the Jets offense. So I'm trying to make sure I get both sides of that game, because the Jets defense is also still looking not strong. So New England can score a lot in the finals as well.
Yeah, May is just he just seems like always a good pick because you don't have to worry about stacking as much. You can always tack on someone late. Probably my preferred guy would be Henry if we could, but yeah, I think the rushing is just so exciting for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see here in another room, Myers still not falling that far. So for him to have come back all the way around at the 94 was pretty
nice.
meaningful. This is a fun one. Mr. Nick 13, welcome to the chat. Folks, real quick, housekeeping, hit the like, hit the sub. Just want to let y'all know we've had a bunch of awesome videos that we've cranked out the last few days here on the Fantasy Sanctuary. We had Matthew Berry on to talk about his stands, some of his loves and hates. That was an awesome video. Guys he's avoiding, guys he's buying into, guys he thinks you're drafting wrong. So we talked through like 10 players there a few days ago. If you want to check that out, that was a fun one. At the same time, we just had Jeff Mueller, who's our most trusted fantasy doctor on the channel this morning, to talk about injuries he's both afraid of and not afraid of. Touched on a lot of guys like Saquon, Mixon, Ayuk, etc. So if you're about to have a draft or you're still drafting, go check that video out if you want to hear all the best details on players coming into the league in this fantasy season. But we have a question. My girlfriend's starting running backs in her home league are Tony Pollard and Bill Krosky Merritt. Is she cooked? First of all, if it's a start to running back and it's not PPR, I feel great about Pollard and JCM. You know what? Your girlfriend's chasing upside. Are you? Can you say the same thing? If your RB2 is upside or bust, are you the bust and she's the upside? I don't know. You look yourself in the mirror and ask. Is she cooked? No. Is it a little thin for week one? Maybe. But if it's not, she's got Pacheco week one and it's fine from a few years ago. She's cooking you in her league. So no, I think Pollard's fine. And I respect the shit out of that. That's just, it's upside or nothing.
Ballsy, real ballsy. I like it.
Exactly, Colin. Who the fuck is Matthew Berry?
Now you guys have been killing it over here. Yeah,
shout out to Tom and Rich.
Huge August for the Fantasy Sanctuary to the absolute moon. Love to see it.
Yeah, we've added like 400 subs in 2 weeks. That Matthew Berry video is about to crack like 40,000 views.
That's wild.
I think our biggest video to that point was like 8K, 9K. It's nuts. So yeah, Tom crushing it with the redraft and guess. Rich crushing it with the Dynasty stuff. We have Dynasty, we have Best Ball, we have redraft. Awesome stuff. Like I said, we had Jeff Mueller to talk health stuff. If you don't know, we got you covered. That's what we do here on the channel.
Absolutely.
Speaking of, we're about to be back on the clock here in Best Ball Mania. $2 million to first overall. We're on the clock. Ooh. What do we want to do here?
I kind of like Samson. Or do we want to go? I think we go Samson first and take a running or a quarterback here.
Yep, I'm good with that. Let's go a little Samson. I think I like Samson more than I like Braylon Allen, quite frankly.
Oh yeah, I think so. I
don't know I don't know how much Braylon Allen's gonna mix in for pass catching. I know he got some strong usage in the preseason. I don't know how much that's gonna stick. And I think Samson just true ups. Braylon was fine last year. He wasn't the best. I assume we're just gonna go ahead and not mess around.
Let's just take Penix. Let's not fuck around.
Yeah, because if we only get May and Penix, I think this is a more viable 2 quarterback than not. If London's having his breakout year, Michael Penix is probably having a pretty damn good season as a quarterback with touchdowns. May with the mobility. Don't want to get boxed out at quarterback on the turn in these rooms. You never know. And this is a solid little start here.
Yeah, man, this is such a fun time to draft. Like all these, like I feel like there was a time period where I think Pete was just talking about it. But it's like after around like 12 or 13, you're just like, I don't know. I don't like any of these guys. And now with all the news and camp stuff going on, like you can get some guys late that you really like. And you can kind of plan ahead for that and draft early knowing that. So this feels very good.
I mean, we've never had a better idea of who we think is worthwhile to pick and who's not. And I'm not touching the guys that look like total avoids. Like it feels even stronger to do that. The guys that look like great picks, you feel good about it happening. Week 5 is going to come around, and half those fun picks are going to feel bad, but they might come back alive.
Yeah,
someone
happens every year.
Recently, I forget who it was, tweeted out that just to give people perspective, because it's a different game, best ball tournament versus redraft, right? Because redraft, a hot start is important, and you have waiver wire, you have seeding to worry about, you have trades you can make. But in best ball, having guys that don't do shit for like 8 weeks does not kill you, because that back half matters so much. You're going to have guys that come on late, guys that fall off. Everybody's going to have injuries. It's a great time to draft, because there's never been a clearer time to chase up the good clicks and avoid the dead spots. What's up, Sus Edwards? Asking fat Amari Cooper or DJ Moore. Tough one. I'm not clicking a hole on a DJ Moore, but Amari Cooper's barely been drafted. So think about the ownership leverage you have on the field, taking 2% drafted Amari Cooper on the Raiders. I can't wait for them to cut him in like 2 weeks, and it's just
that would be the funniest outcome.
If he doesn't pass his physical, I would die laughing.
It was a weird. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. Like I feel like Amari Cooper, it was a weird situation last year where he got traded mid-season, but I also feel like getting signed a week before the season starts also isn't a good, like if you were to sign like 3 months ago and you're like, okay, like maybe you can kind of just explain away, but it's like, okay, he wasn't signed. So clearly teams are not that high on him.
Ooh, that's a good question. Copy paste. We'll get to that after we make these picks. Almost on the clock. We're going to be forced to take Kyle fucking Williams again. God damn it. Yeah, we might just be double stacking Drake May here at the turn.
Good.
So Kyle and Hunter are stacks.
Yeah. Do we have?
I think running back might be more of a need.
Do you want to do Algier?
Yeah, Algier correlates. I don't see a more clear click. Yeah, I think let's go Algier.
Shout out PPR Tyler.
Who? And then I not to be that guy. I know he's a rookie. Oh, thank Christ. Okay, I don't have to.
You want to go Henry?
I think we get our stack with May.
Yeah.
Tight end 2 is a need, and we stay perfectly balanced 2-5-5-2 through 14 rounds. Drake May, Michael Penix at quarterback, RJ Harvey, Aaron Jones, Cam Scatterbo, Dylan Sampson, Tyler Algier. We've got the 2 veteran chaperones with these lovely, supple rookie running backs with pass catching upside. Puka, London, Tet McMillan, Xavier Worthy, Zay Flowers at wide receiver, and Sam Laporta and Hunter Henry at tight end. That's another good solid team. I think I need to check in on the draft board real quick. Because I'm still not touching Mixon. Where does Mixon go in this draft? I'm curious, because I don't think his ADP is going to fall quick enough.
No, it takes so long for him to fall, but it's just like, I just don't get the upside. Like,
and at this point, for sure. Where did he go? Why am I not seeing him? Surely he's not still on the board.
Mixon?
Where did Mixon go? I'm blind. Okay, he went by Ian. So where's Ian? Ian Mixon, 152. Oh, wow. Okay, I haven't seen him fall that far. That's what threw me off. I assumed.
Yeah, no.
He went 2 picks after Jaden Blue, which, this becomes more of an understandable click because he's going to miss the first 4 weeks period. I'm worried about, and I've been worried about for the last month, that it's an ankle and foot thing. We don't know if it's the same foot Lens Frank that he had last year from the high ankle hit drop tackle. He's had a history of lower body and foot injuries. This is an injury he picked up in the offseason back in March or April. It's still not healed. He's still not practiced. If like best case scenario is that he heals by week 4, coming off pup. He's able to practice officially week 5, ramp up, get in football shape, take contact. In the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, reintegrate into the offense, come back, probably be not as efficient, but decently efficient if it heals well. And you're talking about a week 7, week 8 return to full-time play. That's best case scenario. In between all that, maybe surgery, maybe re-injury, and maybe it's still not reacting well. He's still not returning to practice yet. I'm just not touching that guy outside the round 16 on, zeros, understand.
Don't really matter, yeah.
Outside of that, I'm personally not touching him.
I think that's understandable. Yeah.
I don't get the people clicking him right now. What do we want to do here, Bindles?
It's a weird range. Any receivers here that are of any interest at all?
Not really. And I don't feel like we have to force anything with how we started.
Yeah. I don't hate Wandale or Coker, but I don't think we do it. You want to go running back here? There's no really quarterbacks here. You want to go Mitchell again or Kendre?
Oh, damn, I was slow.
That's okay.
Yeah, Mitchell's fine. I would like it if he wasn't more banged up. His rank in the ADP is his rank on mine and his ADP are so vastly different. Yeah, just taking an upside shot. I would have preferred Kendre because I don't know if we take another running back here.
Yeah,
that's a bummer, but it is what it is. I didn't think you were actually going to go for that. The question here is, do we want a third quarterback, and what do we want to do here?
Horton already went, so I don't know. We'd have to go like Arroyo or something if we want to do that.
Are you okay with just Cade and then figure it out?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, let's just be done at tight end, and then we will figure out what we want to do with these last 2 picks. We're sitting at 2, 6, 5, 3. Yeah, nothing was screaming to me here.
No,
I think if we I backstacking a quarterback seems fine. But yeah, it seems like I want to just see what the room does for us. I didn't want to take a receiver and lock ourselves out of, stacking. We got our 12-hole guy is stacking here. So it's precluding a little bit of fun. And because we have May, worst case scenario, we always just take a Hollins, a Butte, just a stack, whatever. If Dart is available, a Sutton or Slayton rather.
Dart Slayton is very fun. Yeah. I like that a lot. Yeah.
Let me catch him on the chat real quick. Oh, Copy Paste asked, what do y'all price the betting line on who scored more half-point PPR points this year, Samson or Judkins? So going into the future, the betting line for who scored more. So this is where it's like a second-round pick versus a fourth-round pick. But that second-round pick hasn't practiced, hasn't signed, may get suspended. So missing time precludes you from scoring fantasy points. And Samson's getting targets. So am I crazy for saying minus 150 for Samson because he's not missing any time right now?
No, I was going to say something similar to that. I just think he's already going to get split work in the first couple weeks.
And this could be a 3-way committee the entire season if Judkins is available. That wouldn't shock me, right? I don't think Ford's magically going away.
No, he's not. We saw.
Yeah. Sorry if I missed this part. Do you guys think Mayers gets his deal resolved? I think they've got enough cap space to make it work, but Raiders going to Raider. Before Amari Cooper, I was leaning, I don't think he goes anywhere. I don't think Amari Cooper moves it more than 5% for me.
But a little bit, yeah.
I think he's more likely to not miss time because he needs his game checks. I think they're more likely to resolve it than they're not. I think the median expectation is they tell him, we're not trading you, we're not giving you a contract, and he just has to suck it up and play like Adams did until maybe a trade partner opens up midseason. That's kind of where
I think that's the way I would lean too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also it's so soon before the season, for trade talks to materialize and all get through right now. I think it would have to be later on. They're focused on the games starting soon. So
So the Kendre Miller thing is that Dennis Allen is no longer there to hate Jackson Dart goes to hate Kendre. Kendre has, for the first time ever, been healthy. Who's that sound like? Rashad Bateman. Who's that doesn't sound like? Marshawn Lloyd. He's in an offense that's pretty good for running backs from like an efficiency standpoint. Kamara is old. They just cut Akers. Everything's pointing to Kendre could be the guy. And like he's the RB2. Okay, Darnold is here, so I think Darnold makes sense. I don't know that Homie is taking a third quarterback here, though. So my question is, what do we want to do?
I don't mind Pierce. I don't know. Is there any other? Do you like any of these other receivers? I don't really care. Like these are all.
QJ in the last round seems fine.
Okay.
AD Mitchell still not getting rested with the starters kind of sucks. KLS is fun. Jalen Lane's fun. I'm thinking pure upside shot here more than anything.
I mean, we can go QJ. We can go QJ. That's 18th round. I don't think.
I mean, QJ did have like a 30-point game last year. I don't want to forget that just because Keenan Allen's there on a 1-year deal, and they drafted Trey Harris, who's not having the best camp. I'm fine taking
QJ. No, I mean 18th round. You can't really. I don't think you can really go wrong.
A starter on an offense that, it took a hit with Slater leaving, but like, and there are fun, exciting rookies, but this is also Greg Roman, and we've seen fun, exciting rookies in Greg Roman's offense not get integrated year one and easily. And they've spent the whole summer talking about how he's the guy. He was falling with Keenan, fair, but what QJ offers this offense and what Keenan offers this offense are vastly different things. QJ is broken coverage merchant, deep crossers when Ladd takes away covers. Like he just kept scoring touchdowns, but he kept scoring touchdowns in sustainable ways because they designed the offense off play action and to abuse coverage mishaps, and he caught the ball fine enough. So it's like, Keenan Allen's not getting, like, he overlaps more with Ladd in this offense than he does with QJ in this offense. And QJ was being treated as the starter up until he got a concussion that he's healing well from. So it's like last round Dart and a touchdown in an offense that's going to be facing Houston in the finals. I don't know if Keenan Allen's available week 17. The contract wasn't nearly as strong as initial reporting. I think I don't see the problem.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all.
Yeah. But also all the people, like, guys, Amari Cooper is a big name. He's not been a useful fantasy asset in a long time. I'm not trading anything away for Amari Trone. I would not be dropping Hollywood.
No, definitely Hollywood.
And I don't like Hollywood Brown. I'm not, like, Amari's not going to matter for fantasy. And if he does, come back and at me, leave a comment how stupid I am. Mr. Popimski, welcome in, saying, are y'all clicking Fannin on Underdog, or is it more of a 20-round PPR play? Up until 2 weeks ago, I would have said, and I was saying, more of a PPR DK thing. But as Bindles said at the start of the stream, he's kind of operating as like the slot wide receiver. Deontay Johnson's not a guy. They're probably going to run a lot of 12 personnel, and he's probably going to be flexed out. We saw him flex out wide, flex in the backfield. His usage is, he might be the most viable tight end 2 in the league because he's more of a tweener hybrid guy. I don't know how much it's going to offer you with Jerry Jeudy and Njoku being target hogs, but he is a good prospect. With Flacco, it's more interesting than it's not. It is best ball. If Njoku misses time, Fannin becomes more interesting. I think I'm finally capitulating that he's a worthwhile click on 18-round half PPR sites because tight ends don't matter. You just need to score touchdowns. And he's probably a more worthwhile play than like Jawan than maybe people would give him credit for. And you're more of a Fannin guy, so I'll let you know.
18th round, I think you can definitely take him now. I would say it's viable.
Yeah. And so, like, for the people saying it's more bullish for Amari if they trade Jacoby, it's more bullish for Jack Bash, who's been there all camp as the second-round pick. It's more bullish for Deontay Thornton. It's more bullish for Trey Tucker. It's not bullish for the guy that's not been with the team until today, 1 week before week 1. I don't.
It's just the name. It's just the
Amari
name.
Cooper gave you nothing with Josh Allen. I'm not at all interested in depth veterans on 1-year deals.
It's like, what do you win when you win? Like, I don't even think right. Like they already have other guys, Thornton, Jack Bash, 2 rookies that they're obviously excited about. And yeah, I just don't see it happening.
So Hybrid Dad jumping in the chat, infamous Hybrid Dad, if you watch the best ball streams, saying as an RB5, you could not click the button. He's being slept on. Okay, he's not being slept on. He is hurt. He's not. I'm so tired. It's like it's not that he's being slept on. It's that like the market's finally catching up to the risk involved, and the risk involved is that he may not play this year if he needs surgery. And they just checked. They said they were going to wait until a week before week 1 to check. They did that today, and they said you're going on IR. So like, I disagree. It's being slept on. If you want to take on the risk of that and say like a contingent bet, like a Tajay Spears, fine. But unlike a Tajay Spears, going into the season injured when you have a really lengthy injury history and you're not an elite athlete, which Joe Mixon's not, and you're over the age of 25, Joe Mixon's 30 something. That is so much risk that you don't heal well and you play injured. You share with Chubb, who's looking fine. You share with Dameon Pierce, who's looking fine. You share with Woody Marks. Like, it's more likely Mixon is either not playing very well and sharing the backfield and not as valuable then as true workhorse Mixon if he's playing through an injury and he's not as efficient because of the foot injury, or that he misses the season because he re-injures himself, kind of like CMC, returning and hurts himself, or needs surgery. What's the upside there? The upside is that like 5% chance he's weak. He's fully healthy week 5. They give him all the work again. Everybody else is bad in that backfield, and the offense is good. And week 17 versus the Chargers, he's good, but he doesn't have another year on his contract left. So it's like,
he could be done.
When he's healthy, they'll use him. What is the likelihood that happens this year with everything we know? I think it's gotten a lot less likely, and that's it. I remember you mucking up a stream draft with Pete when you took Hollywood 101. Was that not you, or was that someone? Do you share a username with Hybrid Dad? Hollywood 101, and they had to push a plane and start another draft. Let's see. But yeah, so that was our second draft. We finished. We built 2 teams, 3-6-6-3. My co-host Best Ball Guy's least favorite structure in all of Best Ball Mania, despite it winning $3 million 2 years ago. Drake May, Michael Penis, Sam Darnold at quarterback, RJ Harvey, Aaron Jones, Cam Scatabo, Dylan Sampson, Tyler Algier, Keaton Mitchell, What If at running back, Puka, London, McMillan, Worthy, Zay, and freemoney.com, Quentin Johnston at wide receiver, Sam Laporta, Hunter Henry, Cade Otton, another mostly boring but high upside single week and offensive season long. I feel really solid about this team again. I don't feel like any weak spots here. No,
I feel like, feel good about all 4 positions. I think, kind of wish we went Kendre over Keaton, but,
same
happens with the 20-second clocks.
That said, Kendre lasts until the very, very last pick anyway. So, like, he's just not getting drafted. I understand why people don't care about him. So, I won't disagree that Keaton Mitchell offers more single week upside than Kendre. But he's been drafted a lot more often. So yeah, I'm with you that I would have liked Kendre more, but I also don't have that much Mitchell. So for my portfolio, I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a good offense, and he's been looking super explosive. So
also, we got 2 pieces of Baltimore.
Yeah, man. No, this is anytime we got Harvey in both drafts. That feels really nice. And then we got the old guy Aaron Jones in a good offense, and then paired him up with some rookies and contingent bets. Very good running back room. Obviously receivers we started with a lot, so feel good there. Yeah, I feel really good about this team. I like these 3-6-6-3 builds. It's weird because but you have the half PPR underdog bros. I think we got to lean into it a little bit. So
I would have been very comfortable going 2 quarterback with Drake May, Michael Penix, and just saying they're both breaking out this year. But Sam Darnold coming back around after Milroe, who goes ahead of him, by the way. Milroe went ahead of him. Milroe goes in the 17th to
the QB3, the QB3 Milroe.
QB3, Milroe has not beaten Drew Lock out of quarterback 2 has a pretty rough preseason start. People are not giving up what they have decided is an exciting profile, whereas I think Darnold's case for starting a majority of the season has never been stronger. If they bench him for Drew Lock because of $12 million of injury guarantees into year 2026, so be it. But it doesn't look like he's getting benched for Milrow, and I don't know that any team actively benches a guy for Drew Lock, all things said and done. So
yeah,
I think
plus EV to just take the QB3 there. I think definitely.
Yeah, I think he's undervalued in how he fits into the Kubiak offense. His mobility, like we've seen him have QB5 outings with Carolina before they gave up, and this is an offense that seems like it wants to compete and wants to get to the playoffs. It's an interesting lever for like the playoff perspective and just a single week shot. Carolina, worst defense in the league last year, looking still like one of the worst defenses in the league.
Terrible.
You know what? Fair. Tommy Cutlets. Well, that guy also sucks. So, but Bindles, thank you so much for joining us, bud. Tell the people what you got going on over on your channel and your streams.
Yeah, we are obviously wrapping up Hot Best Ball Summer. I think we're going to do a just me and Candyman Ballsy stream this week. But yeah, if you guys haven't already, sub to me, sub to Candyman. I think we had some really good guests this summer, kind of spanning across the whole, best ball space, lots of different perspectives, lots of ballsy takes. So go check that out. And yeah, make sure you guys are subscribed to Fantasy Sanctuary. All three of the beautiful men over here are killing the game. And finally, getting some crazy numbers, which they very much deserve. So
yeah, here before y'all leave, I'm gonna put both of y'all's channels in the description because it was a late ad on my part. But here are their channels in the chat. If you're not subbed,
thanks for having me
and check them out. We love the boys. The Ballsy streams are great. Candyman streams late at night are fantastic. Candyman
in the Jeopardy. He might be in the finals tonight against PPR Tyler or Neil. It's looking like a fun time there. So I'll be rooting on all the boys tonight as well.
Yeah, go sub to all the guys doing streams all the time on all the formats. Appreciate everyone for joining us here today. Would love to hear your thoughts in the comments afterwards. Every little bit helps. This mom and pop channel of no mas and 3 pops with Rich, Tom, and myself. Like I said, some videos popping off lately with Jeff Mueller talking injury stuff to get you ready for the season and primed. If you haven't checked those out, highly recommend. Appreciate everyone for joining. Thank you. Have a great night, everybody. We'll catch you next time.